Hello students, once again you're welcome back to our online lesson. Today is eMath and we are going to continue with our lessons on coordinate geometry 2. In our previous lesson on coordinate geometry 2, we looked at how to generate the equation of a circle when given the radius as well as the center of the circle. So I left a question for you to try your hands on, and this is it. I said find the equation of a circle given the radius and center, and I had 1, 2, and 3 questions for you to try and answer. And I said today we are going to continue with lessons on how to determine the center and radius of a circle from a given equation of that circle. So we'll be doing that after taking just one example on this. As a review, I'm going to use the formula, then I will use the let's say a unitary method, and I would like you to understand both methods so that the one which is easier for you, as long as you have everything clear, then you can apply it. So let me copy question number 1, or maybe which question do you like me to consider? Yes, which one?
So the third one.
The third one. Okay, so you want me to work out question number 3. So taking question number 3 to another page, I'm going to use 2 methods as I said. So method 1 is the unitary method. And in this case, with the unitary method, then we are saying that we are applying the concept of Pythagoras theorem, and that is x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared equal to r squared. So whatever has been given to you as a center becomes your a and your b, and then the automatic radius is the root of 12. So let's do our substitution. That's going to give us x minus -1 all squared plus y minus 4 all squared equal to root of 12 all squared. Going further, this will be giving us x plus 1 all squared plus y minus 4 all squared equal to 12, because root of 12 all squared is 12. Then we can expand and simplify the left hand side. So when you expand x plus 1 all squared, please, what does it give us?
X squared plus 2x plus 1.
Wonderful. Then plus, when we expand it, that's going to give us y squared minus 8x then plus 16 all equal to 12. Then we have to leave the answer in the general form. Pardon?
It's minus 8y.
Oh, sorry, minus 8y. Thank you. That is good. So minus 8y then plus 16 all equal to 12. So leaving it in the general form, then we equate everything to 0. So regrouping, we have x squared plus y squared plus 2x minus 8y, then the 1 and then the 16 will give us plus 17 then minus 12 equal to 0. So final answer will be x squared plus y squared plus 2x minus 8y, and 17 minus 12 will give us plus 5. Are you all with me?
Yes, please.
So this is method 1. This is how you can use the unitary method to get the answer. Now let's go with the formula. Now we learned that the formula is giving us x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0, where c is equal to x squared plus g squared plus f squared minus r squared. Please, I hope you remember this formula. And then from here, where the center is negative g and negative f, and the radius is also known, let's say it's r. But you only apply this when your g is negative and your f is also negative. So in order to apply this formula to get the answer for this question, then we have to compare the center with our center value here. Therefore, it means we cannot use this directly unless we convert it to become something like this. Please, are you following?
Yes, please.
So in this case, we can't use just -1 and -4 in the formula. So changing the center to match up with this, what do you think will be the gene value? The gene value is already negative, so it means it will still be as negative. Our gene value will be negative gene as it is. Sorry, -1. -1 as it is. But our f value must be negative. But what do we have there? It's a positive number. So what do we do?
So
What do
please
you,
come again.
I'm saying that we have to write the center in such a way that it connects with the center of the circle. It should be the same. But what do we have? The center of the circle in the question is -1 and +4. But the center for this formula here to be verified or to be used is -g -f. So you can't go ahead to use this center to get the answer directly. Unless you match it up, they should be the same. So I'm asking the question here, our gene value must be negative, but the gene value here is already negative, so you maintain it as -1. Then my question is, what then would the f value be for 4? What would the f value be? Do you get the question now?
So -4.
Yeah, it's supposed to be -4. Please, I hope you get what I'm doing.
Yes, please. So, but does it mean when you get your answer till where the green marker ends, you have to continue with this?
No, 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 no. When you do this method and you get your answer, you are okay. This is just an alternative. It's an alternative method that
Oh,
I'm bringing on board. Yes. Which must also lead you to the same answer as we have here. And our R value is equally the root of 12. Please, are you following what I'm doing?
yes, please.
Okay, any question before I move on, before I continue? If you are not clear with what I've done there, please let me know and then let me just review and then let you get it better. Okay, so if everything is clear, then it means we must know our C value. Then our C will be equal to -1 all squared plus -4 all squared. Then we have minus r squared, and our r value is root of 12 all squared. So our C will be equal to 1 plus 16 minus 12. And that will give us 17 minus 12. And C will be what value? That will give you 5. Please, are you all okay with this? Okay. So if that is obtained, then we need to substitute our center and then the C into the formula up here. So that is going to be x squared plus y squared plus 2 times g value is -1 and then x plus, okay, hold on, I think we need to correct something here. Since the gene value is negative and then that is also negative, then it means that the gene value must be positive 1. The gene value must be positive 1. So it must be positive 1. Yeah. When you compare, gene value must be positive 1, but the F value must be negative 4. Okay, so let's go ahead. Then we have 2 multiplying F value, which is negative 4 times y. Then our C value was obtained as plus 5 equal to 0. So when we expand and simplify, we get s squared plus y squared plus 2x, then minus 8y minus 8y, then plus 5, all equal to 0. And whatever I have here, if you look at it, is the same as what you have in the green marker here. Please, are we all clear? Okay, so if that is done, then I believe I can move on to the next thing. Or should I take another example? Okay,
Yes, please.
all right. So let's take maybe one more example. Let's consider which question?
True.
Okay, so copying question 2. So the first one is using the unitary method. Again, with the unitary method, then you are going to apply x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared equal to r squared. So from here, our a is here, our b is there, and this is our r value. So you just substitute. So you have x minus negative 3 all squared plus y minus 0 all squared equal to 10 squared. Now this will give us x plus 3 all squared plus y all squared equal to 100. Expansion gives us s squared plus 6x plus 9 plus y squared equal to 100. Equating it to 0, we have s squared plus y squared plus 6x. Then 9 minus 100 will be left with negative 91 equal to 0. Are we okay?
Yes.
Okay. Then let us use the formula. So using the formula, which is s squared, let me use a different color for that. So I'm using the yellow. We have s squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0. C is the same as g squared plus f squared minus r squared. So from whatever we have here, or before you can use this formula, your g must be negative, your f must also be negative in terms of the center. But r value is whatever has been given to you. So in order to find what g value to use and what f value to use, what you must do is that just compare it with whatever you have here. So it means minus g should be equal to minus 3. So how do we get the g value? G must be divided through by negative 1. So you get it as positive 1. And then for the f, minus f should be equal to 0. So dividing through by negative, so f will be equal to what? 0 as it is. Sorry. Here is positive 3. How come I wrote 1? So here's it. So the center that we need to use in calculating for the equation of the circle must be 3, 0. This is what we must use. This is what we must use, and that will lead us to the same answer as what we have down here. If we don't use this one and you go to use what has been given in the question for the formula here, you get it wrong. That's why I said you should understand how to apply the formula. So in this case, our R value in the question is 10. So let's substitute the R value and the center into the C expression. So our C value is going to be 3 squared plus 0 squared minus 10 all squared. So C will be equal to 9 minus 100, which will give us negative 91. So C is negative 91. Are you clear? Then now you substitute the C as you've obtained and your center into the general formula, and that will give you x squared plus y squared plus 2 times, we saw our G value to be positive 3x plus 2, f value was 0, y, then plus C value. C value has been seen as negative 91, all equal to 0. Simplifying, finally, you end up getting x squared plus y squared plus 6x plus 0y, then minus 91, all equal to 0. So you realize that whatever we have here is the same as what we have up here. So please, these are the two presentations. The one you are clear with, just stick to it. But I'll be happy if you understand how to use both of them.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If that is clear, then we are moving on to the next level. Moving on to the next level, as I said, we want to determine the center and radius of a given equation of a circle. So that's what we want to look at. Let's take it that you've been given the equation of the circle, but they want you to deduce the center as well as the radius. They want you to generate the center as well as the radius. And how do we go about it? I'm going to show you two methods as to how to go about it. We have the unitary method and then we have the formula method. The one you are conversant with, you just stick to it. So without wasting my time, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to copy some of the equation of the circles we've already solved for. Then we use them as such. So going back, we have one equation of a circle here. I'll be taking it to another page. We are going to use it. We have, okay, let me send it to another page. So from whatever we have here, we're going to generate the center of the circle as well as the radius of the circle from it. That's number one. Number two, we have this. So we are going to come up with that's number two, the center of the circle as well as the radius of the circle. And then the third one, I'm going to take a question which has a different coefficient. Let's consider this question. So that's number three. Good. Let me begin with the unitary method. I'm going to begin with the unitary method. Then after that, I'll show you the formula. So I'll do for each of them separately. So with the unitary method, having x squared plus y squared plus 6y minus 91 equal to 0, what you need to do is to apply the concept of what we call completing of squares. So we have the completing of squares method. Completing of squares method. How do we complete squares? Now you must see to it that the coefficient of x squared and y squared are always 1 before you can apply the completing of squares method. You make sure that the coefficient of x squared and y squared are always 1 before you can apply the completing of squares method or the unitary method. Now when you do your first investigation and you are clear of, then the next that you need to consider is group the x's and y's at one side and then transpose the true constant to the right hand side. So we are going to have it at x squared. Actually, we don't have the corresponding x, so we can make it maybe plus 0x plus y squared plus 6y equal to positive 91, because you have to separate it. Please, are you clear with me at this point? So if that is okay, then select the coefficient of x, half it, square it, and add it to both sides of the equation. Likewise, you select the coefficient of y, half it, square it, and add it to both sides of the equation. So whatever you do on the left hand side, the same thing must be done on the right hand side. Now the coefficient of x here is 0. Half of 0 is still 0. When you square 0, you are still going to get 0. So here we'll be giving us x squared plus 0x plus 0 all squared. Then plus y squared plus half of 6 is 3. Then when you square it and add it to both sides, you are going to get 6y plus 3 all squared equal to 91 plus 0 all squared plus 3 all squared. I'm applying completing of squares method. Now, automatically what you've written here, the left hand side has become a perfect square. The right hand side has also become a perfect square. So you have to write down the factors for the perfect square for x and the factors for the perfect square for y. And that will be leading me to pick one of the x's, pick one of the constants for x, and that will give you x plus 0 all squared, then plus y plus 3 all squared equal to 91 plus 3 squared. That will give you 9. So that will give you 100 in all. So automatically we've been able to generate our equation of the circle in the factor form. But in order to get the radius as well as the center, then we must compare what we have here to x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared equal to r squared. So you compare them. So in the inner bracket, it means x plus 0 or 0 must be compared to negative a, and then minus b must be compared to 3. R squared must be compared to 100. So finding a will be equal to negative 0, which is the same as a at 0 because we don't have a negative 0. Then b will be equal to, yes, what's the answer for b? You divide both sides by negative 1, so you get minus 3. And getting r value, r will be equal to square root of 100, which is 10. So my center is 0, negative 3, and my radius is 10. This is the completing of squares method that can help you obtain the center and the radius of the circle. Please, are we okay?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. Then let me just send this to another page. Then we use the formula. Now to use the formula, there are conditions attached to it. In the first place, our formula is x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0. And c is g squared plus f squared minus r squared. So what it means is that if I'm finding r and I know my c value, then it means we interchange them. R squared will be equal to g squared plus f squared minus c, and r will be equal to square root of g squared plus f squared minus c. That's how you get your r value. So how do we get our center? Remember, before you apply this formula, your center should be negative g and negative f. That's what you must apply before you can use this. So how do you work it out? So first, you compare the coefficient of x. You must compare the coefficient of x to the coefficient of the question given, of x in the question. Remember, the coefficient of x in the question is not seen. So what you need to do is that you write it as x squared plus y squared plus 0x plus 6y minus 91 equal to 0. So before you apply the formula to get the center and radius, you must see to it that the coefficient of x squared and y squared are the same in the equation given to you in the question. So this is check, this is check, this is check, that is check. Then comparing, it will be the coefficient of x here that must be compared to the coefficient of x there. So that's going to give us 2g must be equal to coefficient of x here, which is 0. Now the coefficient of y must be compared to the coefficient of y here. So that is going to give us 2f must be equivalent to 6. And then remember, our c is negative 91. Please, are you with me? So going on, g will be equal to, divide both sides by 2, that will give you 0.
Yes, sir.
And then over here, to dividing both sides by 2, you get f equal to 3. Our c, as I said, is still negative 91. But remember, before you use this formula, your g must be negative g and negative f. So the center of the circle, you must compare what you have here to negative g and compare what you have here to negative f. So it means you will be having it as 0 should be equivalent to negative g, 3 should be equivalent to minus f. So solving for g here, g will give you negative 0, which is the same as 0. Solving for f here, f will be equal to negative 3. So it means the center is 0, negative 3. Then you close your parenthesis. That's the center. Now, how then do we get the radius? We apply this. We've seen the center as 0, negative 3. We know our c value in the question is negative 91. So just substitute it there. You have r equal to square root of positive 0 all squared plus negative 3 all squared, then minus negative 91, because the c value here is negated and then C, or the constant in the equation is negative 91. So that will lead us to R equal to 0 plus 9 plus 91. 0 plus 9 plus 91. So that will give you square root of 100. And R value will be perfectly 10. Please, are we all clear? Okay, I'm giving a pause here. If you have any question, you may ask before I move on. Generate the center and radius of the equation of the circle below. So this is the equation of the circle. I want you to look at it, work out the center and then the radius. I'm giving you approximately 2 minutes. All right, so time is up. Can you share the center for me? What did you obtain as the center? What was your center?
-1,
-1.
4,
And how about the radius?
√12,
Pardon?
√12.
Root 12. Okay, so which method did you use?
The first method.
Meaning the completing of squares method, right?
Yes.
Okay. So any other person who did not use the completing of squares method but used the formula? All right, so let me go through fast. Maybe I'll use one method and then. So that is going to give us having this. We see too that the coefficient of x squared and y squared are the same or they are 1. Then we apply the completing of squares approach. So we group all the x's to one side, so x squared plus 2x. Then all the y's to on the other side, y squared minus 8y. Then transpose the true constant to the right hand side. We have 5 negative. Then completing of squares, select the coefficient of x as well as coefficient of y, half it, and add it to both sides of the equation. So that will give me half of 2, which is 1. So we have x squared plus 2x. Half of 2 is 1, so we square the 1 and add it here and add it also there. Then plus, coming to the y squared maintain, the coefficient of y is negative 4. Half of that is negative 4. So half of negative 8 is negative 4. Then we square it and add it to both sides. So we have minus 8y plus negative 4 all squared. So plus negative 4 all squared. Automatically, you've generated your factors. So you can have it as x plus 1 all squared plus y minus 4 all squared, all equal to, then simplifying here, you have it as 5 plus 1 negative 4. Negative 4 minus plus 16. What's the final answer, please? You have positive 12. y minus 4 squared, s plus 1 all squared. Then you compare whatever you've had with x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared all equal to 0. Upon investigation, it means a value is -1 and then b value is actually 4, and r value is going to be, this must be r squared, square root of 12. So my dear students, you had it right. You had it right. Very good. Now let us add up. Let us add up. The next thing I want us to consider is how to generate. Now, even if you've not learned anything based on what we just started with coordinate geometry 2, just tell me one thing that you always have to bear in mind whenever you want to generate the equation of the circle. What are the two major things you need to know before you can get your equation of the circle on board? What do you need to know, please? Yes, what do you need to know?
So the radius.
Good. So you need to the radius and then the center. They are the two major things. So you need to know the radius and the center. They are the two main key things that can help you to write the equation of the circle. So it means that if I have my circle here, I just want to draw my circle. And there is a diameter. This diameter has, sorry, this diameter, I just want to switch it to the side a little. Sorry. Good. The endpoints are here and they are x1, y1, and then x2, y2. These are the only informations given to us in this circle, and they want us to find the equation of the circle. We've just realized that there are two major things that we need to look out for whenever you are writing the equation of the circle. You must know the center and you must also know the radius. But we don't know any of them. So in your own small way, what do you think we can do to these two values or points here to be able to come up with the center of the circle as well as the radius of the circle? What do you think we must do? Yes, yes, what must we
So
do?
you divide it into two.
Good. So you use the idea of midpoint of a line. That's number one. Midpoint of a line to obtain the center. So getting the midpoint of the line using to obtain the center. So it means, how do we get the midpoint? Midpoint from coordinate geometry 1 is equal to the sum of the corresponding x components, so x1 plus y1 all divided by, x1 plus x2 all divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 all divided by 2. So you find the average of it. Now when you obtain the center, then the center becomes a comma b from the idea of what? Midpoint. Number two, how do we get a radius then? How do we get a radius?
So you divide the diameter by two.
You don't know the length of the diameter, so how do you find the length of the diameter before you can divide it by 2? So in other words, you find the length of diameter and divide into 2 equal halves. So length of a line. How do we find the length of a line? L, when the coordinate has been given. Remember, you learned something about square root of x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. Do you remember this?
Yes, please.
And whatever we have here, you divide it into 2. So r then becomes the square root of s squared minus, x2, so square root of x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. The answer divided by what? 2. So this is the systematic presentation that will help you obtain the center as well as the radius of a circle. The center as well as the radius of a circle. And the other method is a formula. So let me take just one example using this method, because this is what you know from coordinate geometry 1. You are just basing on what you know from coordinate geometry 1 to add up. So can I take one example, please? Then after that, I will show you the formula.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So write down the equation of the circle with the ends of the diameter.
So please 2 and -3.
So we have 2 and -3. Good. And then for the radius, we said that you must use the idea of finding the length of the diameter and dividing through by 2. So you can use square root of change in y all squared plus change in s all squared. That is either 3 minus 1 all squared plus 0 minus -6 all squared. The answer we have here, all divided by 2. That will give us the radius. So what are we getting? That will be leading us to 2 squared, which is 4, plus 36. And 4 plus 36, what answer are we having?
40.
We have root of 40. All on what? 2. Are you okay with this? To generate the equation, then we have to use x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared equal to r squared. X minus, what is our a value? We've seen the a as 2 all squared plus y minus b value was -3 all squared equal to root of 40 over 2 all squared. Are you with me? Expansion.
Yes, sir.
Expansion will give us what here? Here will be giving us x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus, here will give us y plus 3. So we have y squared plus 6x plus 9 equal to square root of 40 all squared will give you 40, and the square of 2 will give you 4. So you are having something like 40 over 4. 40 over 4 is the same as what number? That will be 10. Regrouping, we have it as s squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 6y. Sorry, here is y, sorry. Plus 6y, and then plus 4 plus 9 will give us an answer of 13. So 13 minus 10 equal to 0. So x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 6y, and that will give you plus 3 equal to 0. So this is our equation of the circle when the endpoint of the diameter is known to be this. We first had to find the center using the idea of midpoint of a line when the coordinates are known, and we found the radius by using length of a line divided by 2 to get a radius, and then we applied the unitary method and we had this as an answer. Are you okay? Now let me give you the formula so that you can try using the formula. So if this is your circle, let me reduce it a little, and this circle has a diameter, and the ends of the diameter is given as x1, y1, and then x2, y2. Now we can find another point on the circumference of the circle and call it x, y. Then we connect the endpoints of the diameter to the given point. Automatically, this gives you an angle of 90 degrees. So with this idea, now to get the equation of the circle for which the endpoint of the diameter is known, you can use the formula x minus x1 all multiplying x minus x2 plus y minus y1 all multiplying y minus y2 all equal to 0. When you use this, it will give you the final answer as expected. Just look at it. Okay, so A was 3, 0. B was 1, -6. Note it down. A was 3, 0. B was 1, -6. Please, I hope I'm right. And then we have our x, y as the third point. So let's apply. It's going to be x minus 3 all multiplying x minus 1 plus y minus 0 all multiplying y minus -6 all equal to 0. Let's expand this one. When we expand this, what are we getting? X times x is x squared. X times -1 is -x. This and that, -3x. This and that will give us +3. Now y minus 0 is the same as y, so you get y times y, you get y squared. Y times +6 will give you plus 6y all equal to 0. My people, are you with me? So you have x squared minus 4x plus 3, then plus y squared plus 6y equal to 0. Regrouping, you have x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 6y plus 3 equal to 0. This is what I'm getting using this formula. Is it the same as what we had early on? Can we check? Can we check? And that is it. Boom. It's the same. X squared plus y squared minus 4x. Maybe you may think it's different. So let me just cut this and send it there. Let's compare. Here it is. I believe they are the same, right? But please, as I said, you need to understand before you can apply any method. All right. Thanks so much for giving me the audience. I'm privileged having you on the line. God richly bless you. And please practice as many work examples. And then wherever you have a challenge, kindly inbox me. And then I'll see how best I can help you resolve it. Thank you so much. And then God richly bless you. Bye bye.
Thank you.